my name is Astrid. I'm the esthetician at Lake Nona Ophthalmology, and today we're going to be doing a CeraVive demo live for you all to learn a little bit more about the HydraFacial CeraVive scalp treatment. So thank you all for joining me today. Today I have my business development manager, Jamie. She works for the HydraFacial company, here to assist me, and I'll let her talk a little bit and introduce herself.
Hi, thank you all for joining us. I'm honored to be here, and you guys are going to get a treat today from Astrid as she dives deeper into what CeraVive looks like, what a patient can experience, and any questions you have, feel free to pop them in there, and we'll do the best we can to get to all of you today, and we'll get started.
Yeah. All right, everyone. So today, my lovely model has already disclosed to me that she has major concerns in the top front portion of her scalp. So we're just going to be treating her areas of concern today. So she has washed her hair already. She washed her hair yesterday, I believe. To prep for this treatment, you want to come in with clean hair because we're going to be cleaning out the scalp. But if we're working over a dirty scalp, we're not going to be able to clean as deeply as we want to. So I'm going to go ahead and part her hair so we can get started with the treatment. Now this treatment is a very simple treatment, very comfortable treatment, no pain. A lot of patients tend to fall asleep during it, so it's a nice little nap, a nice little break from the day while getting treatment for your scalp. Alright, so we're going to get started. So I have her hair parted down the center, and I'm going to start by doing our exfoliation portion of the treatment. So I'm going to be using my Beta HD and my blue tip, and I am going to be exfoliating her scalp. What I'm looking for is for her scalp to get a little rosy, and that rosiness lets me know that I have the circulation that I need in order for everything to penetrate well. How's that feel? Good. Alright, so if you guys have any questions about the treatment at all, during our live, feel free to ask. We're here to answer all your questions. We also have some really cool promotions for you today, and a chance to win a complimentary CeraVive, which is really awesome. So I'm going to let Jamie talk about the promotions a little bit, so she can explain those as I treat my demo's hair.
All right, so one thing about CeraVive is it is done best in a 90-day treatment protocol. What that means is you're going to have 3 in-office visits with Astrid, and then you get to take a take-home spray with you with everything that we have fused in to the scalp. As she gets to the next step, I'll go into a little more detail of what the ingredients are and what it can do for you. But the 90-day package, if you do purchase that, it's $1,500, and you get a complimentary platinum HydraFacial, which is actually worth $325. So pretty incredible savings.
Yeah, our Platinum HydraFacial is one of my most recommended or most sought after treatments, I should say. Everyone loves the Platinum. With the Platinum HydraFacial, you get a complimentary, or you get lymphatic drainage. You also get red light and blue light on the skin to help with product penetration, help with acne, inflammation, or any concerns that you might have as well.
Kind of to piggyback on what she's saying about the lymphatic drainage with that is right now we are all so health conscious, totally concerned about everything going on inside our bodies since COVID has hit, and lymphatic drainage will actually not just pull all the toxins and inflammation out of the face, but encourage your entire body to start flushing. So really incredible.
Yeah, I love lymphatic drainage. If you have any type of sinuses, or you tend to get a little puffy in the morning, every time I do a lymphatic drainage, it just helps to relieve some of that swelling that you get in your face due to whether you suffer from allergies or sinuses. It's really great to add on to every HydraFacial or any facial treatment we do here, because it helps to also improve the skin's healing response. So that's always nice. But getting back to the CeraVive, so right now I'm just continuing with my exfoliation process. I don't know if you can see a little closer here on the scalp, but she has a little bit of rosiness coming through, which is exactly what I want to see. Now I know it looks like I'm kind of pushing hard at her head, but I'm actually not. It's actually really comfortable. And believe it or not, when I first started doing this treatment, I was always a little concerned that I was hurting the patient until I noticed that they were snoring. So then I kind of knew everything was okay.
speaking of that, a lot of our other options, right, for our scalp health, to stimulate any potential hair growth, things like that, a lot of it does include a little bit of level of discomfort, right?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of other options are PRP injections, microneedling, all the way down to, you know, taking things internally that then affects your system, and then to surgery. So
Yeah.
this is a really enjoyable treatment without any of that pain that can provide your scalp with enough health to get thicker, stronger hair, and potentially quite a bit of hair growth. For those of you that are watching, I would like to kind of encourage you to search CareVive on Instagram and see all of the incredible before and afters that are just flying in organically to give you a better idea of what you can see post-treatment.
Yeah, and speaking about surgeries, so we know that hair transplants are a really popular thing right now, and this solution was actually created by a surgeon in the hair transplant field to make sure that his patients have the best environment for the hair transplant to take, and for the scalp to, you know, not reject any of those bulbs that he's putting in. So this is a really great treatment that we're giving you to help with minimizing inflammation of the follicle, making sure that your scalp is healthy, there's no irritation on the scalp itself. So conditions like seborrheic dermatitis, eczema, things like that where you have a little bit of an inflammatory scalp, this would be a great option to add into your scalp health routine. You can use it alongside medication. So it's not taking place of medication. It's almost like this would be your vitamin, and your medication is going to be like your main diet, if that makes any sense. That's how I always like to explain it. It just makes it a little easier to understand. So we're just working alongside what you're doing currently to help with just maintaining your scalp health so everything works better for you. All right, so I finished that one side of her hair. Now I'm going to move on to the other side.
So back to this current step of what she's doing with really getting in and debriding the scalp, removing any of the buildup. I know a lot of us women use a ton of product, and then men too, styling their hair with gel, anything like that. This is going to get in there and open up those follicles that haven't been functioning because they're completely sealed shut. So for a lot of us, we aren't educated on the fact that we have follicles that could be functioning and could be producing hair, but they're not active because of everything closing up.
Yeah, they kind of like go to sleep, and you don't really notice that because you have so many other follicles to take its place, you know, or around it. But doing this type of treatment, getting all of that cleaned out, you'll see a lot of activity when it comes to that. Another thing that a lot of my patients have experienced with the CareVive is actually minimal shedding. Mm-hmm. It can help with the shedding process. So normally you want to lose about, or we're going to lose about 100 to 150 hairs a day, and that's completely normal. But sometimes when you're going through really stressful times, maybe medication changes, you know, your hair can be affected. So this can help just kind of keep that hair in the follicle and minimize the amount of shedding that you're getting.
Yeah, to piggyback on that as well, you know, we go through different hair cycles, and like she was saying, stress, different triggers that make it start to fall out. This year especially, so many of us have been through a lot and have experienced hair loss, thinning. Maybe our hair is just more damaged than it seems because it's just not nourished the way it needs to be. Our anagen phase is our very first phase of our hair growth, and that is literally, like it sounds, the growing cycle of hair. And this will actually help prolong that phase of the hair growth cycle, keeping it from going into the next two, shedding quicker, and becoming completely dead inactive follicles.
Does anyone have any questions? Anything you want to know a little bit more about? Feel free to answer. Again, we have some great promotions going on for the CareVive today. Whether you use it for yourself, whether you gift it to a friend or a loved one, that's up to you.
So individually, these treatments are $600. but we really encourage you to purchase them in a series of 3, and because you do that, we bring the price down to $1,500 for your series of 3 and your 90 days worth of take-home product. Really, if you're going to invest, it's better to invest to the fullest so that you actually have the options of seeing the true benefit of what can be done for your scalp. And again, she's giving away a complimentary platinum HydraFacial that's valued at $325 with any purchase of your series of 3 CeraVe.
Alright, so we're almost at exfoliating here. One question that I get a lot about the CeraVe treatment is how is it permanent? So that's a really hard question to answer because essentially what we're doing is we're cleansing out the follicle and we're trying to help the hair follicles be in their optimal state. However, of course, factors in life always minimize or can minimize how well the follicle works. So it's permanent to a degree because we're just helping your scalp be healthy and we're improving that health, but it's not guaranteed that it's going to maintain your results. And another thing is that we are, like I said before, we're using vitamins for the scalp. That's how I kind of like to picture it. It's a scalp vitamin. If you were to be taking, let's say, an oral vitamin and you stop taking it, what happens is that your health declines. So in order to maintain your results from the CeraVe, I do recommend to continue the take-home spray, which Jamie mentioned before. The take-home spray is it's the same solution that we're using in office, just a little less concentrated for at-home use. And that's going to help to maintain and put those peptides and growth factors into your scalp to continue making sure that the scalp is the most optimal environment for, in its healthy optimal environment. But yeah, so that is what I suggest to do. So you would come in for your first 3 treatments, then you would maintain with the spray. The spray lasts about 30 days. And then I would also recommend coming in for a follow-up session, maybe once every 6 months, just to keep your scalp clean, keep those follicles cleared out, so we have the best environment for potential growth. How are you feeling?
This feels great.
Good. All right, her scalp is nice and pink. Awesome. So now we're going to move on to the next step. I'm just going to clean out my handpiece here for a quick second. So now we're going to get into the good stuff. We're going to be infusing the peptide solution into her scalp.
So we did have a question just pop up at how many treatments you need. That is something we just touched on, but I want to just make sure I reiterate so the question is clearly answered. It is best to do a series of 3. And then like Astrid said, you can continue staying on your at-home care. And one thing I do want to point out is you're going to get the best results if you continue to treat afterwards. But unlike other different medications and things that are used, you are not going to instantly lose all the hair that we got if you do stop.
Mm-hmm.
I know that is a question that comes up a lot in our different trainings. So it is really rebuilding the health of your scalp. So as long as you maintain scalp health, you are going to continue that growth. And everything does cycle back through, but you're going to have more follicles open and ready to produce more hair as you go along.
Alright, so now I'm infusing the solution into her scalp using my patented CeraVe tip, which if you look closely, I don't know if you'll be able to see it on camera, probably not, but it has tiny little teeth, and these little thingies here, what happens is that when I move the little handpiece or the tip on the scalp, it helps to open up the follicles, so the solution really gets deep into those pores. Now, the CeraVe is a treatment, of course, like I mentioned, you want to do it on clean hair, but you can do it at any time. I have seen patients do the CeraVe treatment and then go to an event right after, and their hair was flawless by the time they got to their event. It dries really, it dries really dry, I guess. It's not really gunky on the hair. It's not thick. It almost feels like water. So the scalp is going to be a little wet when you leave the office, but by the time your hair dries, it's going to have a lot of volume at the roots. That's the biggest thing I see, a lot of root volume. And it's just going to feel very light and airy. It's not going to weigh your hair down. It's not going to feel weird. You don't have to wash your hair right after it. So it's just a really great treatment to do if you have an event, you want to give your hair a little zhuzh. I would recommend doing this as well.
Definitely. I actually had mine done right before a gala, same day actually. And that night, my hair was the best it has been in a long time. It was full of volume. Literally, I was actually glad I did it. When at first I was nervous that what would this look like, you know?
Right.
And I had really pretty fabulous hair that evening.
So what makes this CeraVe solution that we're infusing a really great solution to having your hair is that it also does not use any steroids. So I know, like, when we talk about hair growth, the first thing that comes into people's mind is Rogaine. So this does not use any steroids at all. What we're doing is that we're infusing 5 skin proteins, growth factors, and peptides into the scalp for that scalp health optimization. So again, if you're using medication for any type of scalp condition, or even if you're using any type of medication for like scalp growth, this doesn't have anything you should be worried about. Of course, you always want to consult with your physician prior to starting something new. However, we're literally just infusing ingredients that your body is already familiar with, and they're just going to help your skin work better. So they're not like really medicinal in that sense. So they're not going to have any contraindications with other medications.
Right, these growth factors that she's talking to you about are actually called biomimetic growth factors, meaning we are mimicking our own body's growth factors, and they're helping rebuild our vascular health in our scalp. When we lose blood flow, circulation, and things like that, it really doesn't fuel that follicle to stay vibrant and alive, right? We need that blood flow and that circulation. It's helping rebuild the tissue, as she talked about. Again, pulling all of the debris and everything out of those follicles and strengthening the follicle itself so that it has the ability to produce that hair. And to thicken and strengthen the hair that's already been there, which is really what makes your hair just look so vibrant and luscious, right?
Yeah, I do have to say that I myself have done a few CeraVes, and there was a period where I was having quite a bit of hair loss, and I was like, that is not acceptable, like, at all. So I did a few CeraVes, and now I saw a picture. I took a picture of, like, my hair that I had lost a few months ago when I washed it, and then I took a picture of my hair that I, lost in the shower a few days ago. And it was like a huge difference. I barely had any hair fall out, and I only wash my hair about once or twice a week because I'm a curly girl, so we don't wash our hair as often as non-curlies do. So yeah, I was very impressed with how little fallout I had. And now, to me, that looks like 100 hairs, not like 500 hairs that I'm losing. So taking a shower, washing my hair isn't as scary anymore.
Yeah, all of you dry shampoo users, you have no idea how bad you need it. I was pretty mortified when I saw that gunky afterwards of how much came off of my scalp. And unlike Astrid, I wash my hair probably every other night, right? Thinking I have a pretty good, healthy scalp. Well, to my surprise, there was a whole lot sitting there, keeping things from coming through.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like, you think your scalp is completely clean, and then when you look at your gunky, you're like, what the heck? It's insane. It looks like you never even washed it.
Yeah, if you have a lot of really bad dandruff, this really helps slow down how much dandruff is falling out and being produced.
Yeah, and if you have an oily scalp, since we're cleaning out the pores, we're getting everything out, you're going to have less surface oil on the scalp. So it's going to help to minimize the oiliness as well. Alright, so we are almost done with our treatment, and it's literally that easy. We're going to exfoliate the scalp, and then we're going to infuse our growth factor solution. I'm going to switch out my little tube here. So every time you come in to do the CeraVe scalp treatment, you get a bottle of take-home, the Peptide Complex to take home with you. And that is a 30-day supply. So I'm going to be showing you how you would apply that when you take it home with you once we're done. So that is a complex that you use nightly, so once a day at night, and you apply it directly to the scalp. Now your hair does have to be dry when you apply it to the scalp, and then you're going to massage it in, give yourself a little scalp love there, and then you're going to let it dry. By the time you wake up in the morning, you're good to go. You can use your heat styling products or anything like that in the morning. Now, after your treatment, if you need to style your hair right after, let's say you have to go to work and you want to use heat because your roots are still a little damp, we do suggest that you wait until your hair is completely dry to use any type of heat styling tool, just because we don't want to take away from the solutions that we put into your skin, and your scalp just got exfoliated, so it might be a little bit more sensitive to that heat. So I would just wait some time before you style your hair. And also, when it comes to if you can do this treatment and color your hair, yes, you can color your hair while you're doing the CeraVe scalp treatments. However, you want to wait 2 weeks after your CeraVe HydraFacial treatment to color your hair. Or if you do this first and then want to color your hair, you have to wait 2 weeks before you color your hair after your treatment. Because as we all know, well, most of us know, hair color can sting the scalp. I mean, it's a chemical that you're putting on the scalp, and your scalp is exfoliated, so it's going to be easier to irritate with hair color. So you want to make sure you have enough time for that to heal, and your scalp to be built up again, so that doesn't hurt your scalp.
I have had a lot of people ask if it affects the actual color that has been applied, and it does not. Anyone can do it, whether you're dyeing your hair dark, lightening it to make it blonde. It does not affect your color-treated hair.
Another cool thing is that you can get this treatment done if you have extensions. So whether you have extensions or not, this treatment is being done to the scalp. A lot of extensions, I mean most of extensions I think, they don't start at the scalp. They start like an inch or two from the scalp. So since we're going to be treating the scalp, this treatment can still be done. And it's not going to mess with your extensions at all, not going to eat up any of the glue, nothing like that.
Nope, and most of the time we have extensions either because we're thickening our hair or wanting to make it longer, right?
Yeah.
So it'd be perfect while you have your extensions to get your scalp healthier so that the hair that's there, A, is stronger for those extensions to hold on to, and B, you may start producing more, which would be an awesome side effect to the treatments of just making your scalp healthier and your hair stronger.
So we are almost done with her treatment. I'm just getting my little solution pushed in here with my little windshield wiper motions, making sure I can get into the pores, everything's opening up.
Yeah, so if you missed Astrid explaining that at the beginning, the tip that she has literally has like little prongs on the end of it, and as she twists it, she opens up the follicles, fuses in all of those growth factors, skin proteins, and peptides into the scalp, and then she twists back and then fuses it again. You can see she's going back and forth with that little wiggle she's got going. So that is how it is able to penetrate into the follicle and the different layers of the skin that we need it to reach.
Still doing good?
Yes, great.
Try not to fall asleep?
Yes.
Alright, getting good pinkness to the scalp. So remember, if you're interested in doing this treatment, we do have that awesome promotion, and you can even win it, or get a chance to win a complimentary CeraVe yourself. So you definitely want to take advantage of the opportunity by texting the word scalp health to our phone number, which is 407-857-3937. If you text in scalp health, that means that you're interested in purchasing the CareVive, and what we'll do is we'll call you tomorrow morning. We'll answer all our text messages tomorrow morning. And if you're interested in joining the raffle, you want to text the letter or the word WIN to 407-857-3937. All right, so we are done with our treatment. We used practically everything in our solution vial. So again, in her case, because her hair is a little shorter, if we were doing like a full treatment in the office, if I had any solution left, then I would bring it back down to her crown. But for demo purposes, I am just working in her area of concern, which is the top portion here. So when you come in for your treatment, we're going to make sure that we use all the solution that you're getting in your kit and penetrating that through. So when I'm done, I kind of just like to give the patient a little bit of a scalp massage. I know it's going to make it harder for you to stay awake. I'm sorry. So I just like to work the product through, bring in a little bit of circulation. And it also feels good, so you get a little bit of that spa type of feel. Now this treatment can be done all over. So her area of concern is the front, but if your area of concern is in the back or on the sides, I mean, we can work with any area of concern. Another big takeaway from this treatment is that you don't necessarily need to have hair to get the CareVive scalp treatment done. Your scalp is just an extension of your facial skin. So if you have a scalp, CareVive is for you. So whether your hair is thinning, whether you don't have anything, or you shave your head, we're helping your scalp become healthier. Your scalp health be better. So you don't really need hair to do that. We're just working with the skin.
Right, because a lot of times when we see maybe like a completely bald scalp, right, it's got discoloration, maybe there's some flaking, there's some dryness to the skin, there's uneven texture, because it really is neglected, right? And even it's neglected, and then on top of that, it is the center for all free radicals to go after it, right? Mm-hmm. Pollution, it's the sun, it's literally aimed at it all the time. So having these CareVive treatments can actually strengthen it, and when your scalp is as healthy as the rest of your face, you look younger, more confident, and think about it, a lot of people when you're walking around, that is what you see, right? Yeah. If you don't have hair. So why not make it as vibrant and as healthy as we can?
All right, so I'm going to finish off the treatment by explaining to her how she's going to be using her Peptide Complex solution when she goes home. So this is your solution you're going to be taking home with you. It's a 30-day supply. We're going to apply it directly to the root about an inch apart. So I'm going to start in the center, and I'm just going to spray on the scalp about 3 times because it's very liquidy, so it'll move a lot. So I'm just going to spray about an inch apart, and I'm making sure that I'm touching the nozzle to the scalp, so I'm 100% positive that I'm reaching the scalp skin itself. And then you're just going to rub it in.
Another thing with this, think about it when we have our PRP injections, when we do microneedling, things like that, it's not a full 90-day treatment, right? Like, so if you're doing this every single night and continuing to stimulate all the different things we've talked about, right? Our vascular system, the skin itself, and keeping blood flow and circulation going, you're going to have much better, longer lasting results. Which is why it's a 90-day treatment and not just 3.
Yeah, it's just going to improve the results from all the other more aggressive treatments you could be doing. It's just going to make everything take better. So, I mean, why wouldn't you get a CareVive HydraFacial if you're going to be investing in doing something like PRP or a hair transplant of some kind? It just makes sense to protect that investment, and the CareVive is the way to do it. Again, it's super comfortable, as you see. There's nothing out there on the market quite like it. Everything that has to do with hair growth, there's usually a little bit of discomfort, like Jamie mentioned earlier, whether you're doing Kenalog injections, and it's an injection in the scalp, so obviously that hurts quite a bit. PRP, also injections or microneedling in the scalp, so this is just a very comfortable method to help, potentially increase that follicular growth and just keep your scalp healthy to give you the best results possible. All right, so I'm going to try to fix your hair up here a little bit. All right, and she is done. My patient got her first
Thank you.
HydraFacial CeraVe treatment done today. She got it done live. So she got to experience the CeraVe firsthand, and so did you, which is really cool. But yeah. So,
Astrid, can we see that gunky?
yeah, so you want to see everything that came out of your clean scalp today?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, again, she had washed her hair 2 days ago. And ta-da! Let me see. Let me
Yes,
get a
wow.
camera.
Woo! Look at those floaties.
Yeah. Ooh, it's chunky.
there's a
It's
big
chunky
chunk in
gunky
there, too. Look at
yeah. That's awesome. So she has a lot of debris. You can see the dead skin cells floating around. That milkiness to the fluid there, that is all oil in the scalp that we removed. Oil product, like buildup from dry shampoo, all of that comes out with the HydraFacial. So we got a really good gunky out of
Awesome.
that treatment. Yes. That is so great.
So great. So disgustingly great.
Yeah.
Like, just disgustingly
Yeah.
satisfying.
It takes a special kind of person to love this.
Thank you all so much for being here with us. Come in and see Astrid. You're in incredible hands when you're with her. Let's get those scalps healthy.
Yeah, and if you have any other questions that we maybe didn't answer live for you, feel free to text us again. Our number is 407-857-3937. If you're interested in purchasing a HydraFacial CeraVe treatment, again, text the word scalp health to 407-857-3937. And to enter our big giveaway, text the word WIN to the same number. I'm going to repeat it again just one more time. 407-857-3937. Thank you guys for joining me today and taking some time to experience the HydraFacial CeraVe with me. I hope you guys stay safe and have a great night.